One of my personal heroes is here next to me.
Thank you, Ian.
I don't get to often talk about heroes that I look up to that are younger than me, but you are certainly one of them. Probably because of my pride. I'm trying to become a more humble man so I can be more mentored and guided by younger people. You have made a tremendous impact on my life. You represent confident humility and exceeding expectations in a way that is very rarely seen through all generations. All of you in this room that get to live in the same region as Luke Minor should feel so incredibly grateful. I feel the same way about Corey from the Civic. The two of you have something that is unlike what I found in my journey through life. The reason why I asked you to come speak is because I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Question number one, I'm asking the same 4 questions from everybody, just so you know what you're gonna get. It's big vision, who inspires you, practical vision, how do we get there? Number 1, if anything's possible, anything is possible. Like the moment of singularity happens and artificial intelligence makes everything better and we have the machines working for us, anything's possible. Where could Shasta County become in the next 10 years or so?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I am going to read a little bit. I'm going to take some cues from notes. And mainly I'm going to talk about things that are near and dear to my heart. So for one, not only is this something that we are going to continue to become, but something that we are is an incredible outdoor hub. I don't know how many of you guys love outdoors, hiking, waterfall, bike. If you pull up, REI has a map that basically mapped outdoor biking trails. And I think Shasta County had like 160 within 20 miles or something like that, like hundreds and hundreds of miles. So this is something that we already are and are going to be. The second thing that was on my mind for Shasta County was that this is a fantastic place to launch from. And I think about that in incredible avenues like Bethel Tech is just building a school for education, technology education. UCaring launched from here. We were able to start because of very low cost of rent, cost of living. There is a pretty incredible talent for starting something here. I think of like CH2M Hill is a Fortune 500 company that started from Reading. Some incredible companies that launched from here. And I think this is an incredible launching pad for Limelight as well. Garrett was just up here playing to start and launch from here and then move to the Bay Area. This is a great thing for this city.
Yeah, it's great. This is your moment to prove your humility. Who inspires you? What person, what people, what organization, who are you running after? Who's driving us toward the big vision that you have? Make some noise about a person or people here.
Yeah, so I've got a list of people who have inspired me in Reading for years. One of the first guys that incredibly inspired me, he spoke earlier on the live cast, is Tim Marinello. Tim hired me 6 years ago and basically told me I needed to grow up. I was not confident. This was before I had anything to do with starting my own company. And part of his teaching and training helped me become, I think, a real man that enabled me to be the man I am today. And Tim is still on. He's probably hired 150 people in Shasta County, trained some of the best salespeople that I know. A fantastic man. Some other people. Rachel Hatch is incredibly inspiring in some of the work that she's doing with McConnell Foundation. Tony Giovanello and Todd Jones are killing it out there at the Shasta Venture Hub, encouraging startups. Hope Seth is a huge inspiration for me and the work she plowed in getting the Shasta Venture Hub started. And those are some of the people that I see on a regular basis. And not only do I see on a regular basis, but I see their impact. And one other thing that is very exciting is a project that's in front of the city council right now. And I think Adam McIlvain has one of the coolest visions. Adam McIlvain is one of the Reading city councilors, has one of the coolest visions with seeing high, basically fast speed, direct fiber internet in downtown. And I think that would create incredible density. So if you get a chance, go to city council. It's every other Tuesday night, I believe. And you get everyone gets a 3-minute comment time where they can say that they want to see that. I think that would be one of the most impacting things that we could do here.
That's awesome. The third question is more practical. What's possible in a year? Like, what could you imagine happening? I know a year sounds little if you go days, but if you go seconds, like we have so many seconds.
A lot of seconds.
In 1 year. What can we do in a year, Luke? What can be done? What's your vision? Where can we be in 2019?
So the project that I am working on with a small cohort of people, actually a growing cohort of people in the startup community, is this thing we call a venture conference. How many people know what a venture conference is or have ever heard about one of those? Yes, no, okay, I see a couple hands. Well, venture conference is basically, how many people have watched a Shark Tank? One Shark Tank, raise your hand, yeah? Okay. Funny show. A lot of this stuff is cool and fun. I love that startup stuff. Some of it's unrealistic and a little ridiculous, but imagine a local Shark Tank where the great entrepreneurs from Shasta County and the surrounding regions. Reading is really this regional hub for Northern California. There's no other city that's even close to the size, has close to the resources in NorCal. But imagine an event like the Sundial Film Festival or like one of these great festivals where entrepreneurs come and pitch their idea to real investors, hear feedback on their pitches, and then get a real investment in their company or an investment prize. I went to one of these and I got to be in the room when they awarded over $600,000 in prize investments to these young entrepreneurs, and it was one of the most inspiring things I've ever talked about. So this is not a formal this is not a formal announcement, but we're pushing very hard to see one of those happen in April of 2019 with some collaborating events leading up to that, because I think there's nothing that could help stimulate and incentivize the startup community in Reading more than a fantastic venture conference that puts the entrepreneur community on display, from the startups to the investors to the surrounding cast, the lawyers and CPAs and incredible consultants we have in our midst. That's my personal what will happen in the next year.
I love it. Well, let's end on a high note of action. Mike Warren, who used to be the city manager, and I spoke this week. He was gracious enough to come here and spend time with all the speakers so that we could have him speak into what we're doing as emerging leaders or, the leaders have been driving things forward for a while. And he said something very clear to me. He said, I have one message. Cast a powerful vision, do what you say you're going to do, and hold everybody else to that really high standard. So here's the final question. Folks that live and work here, what can they do? How can they make the 10-year vision a reality? How can they be inspired by others? How can they make the right now, right here, vision happen? And you have 49 seconds.
49 seconds. So something that my family is doing, we just adopted a block in downtown that we're going to walk around every 2 weeks and clean up trash.
I love that.
That's pretty exciting. Go to a city council meeting. Get involved with some of the events, the Viva Downtown, the Chamber, the EDC. Density. If you're gonna eat, work, and play, let's try to do it downtown, and let's try to create some density, because the public safety thing, I think that dilution is the solution to pollution. So let's just fill it up and then pollution won't be a problem.
That's good.
There are great restaurants that you know about, like this place. Thank you guys very much for hosting us.
Thank you so
Final
much.
draft, and
So
I look
good.
forward to seeing you guys again soon.
Okay.